Hello everyone. For the rest of today's lecture, we are going to use the idle editor to go through demo problems. Please make sure that you are able to launch the idle editor by typing in idle inside your PowerShell window if you are on a Windows laptop. If you are on a Mac laptop, type in idle3 inside your terminal window. Please pause the lecture video here and make sure that you are able to launch idle. All of the demo problems are going to provide examples for print and input function calls. The input function call enables us to obtain user input via the keyboard. The return value of the input function call is going to be the user input itself. How can we capture the return value of the input function call? We can say variable name equal to input function call. The first program is going to be something called as parrot. Let me switch over to my terminal window. I'm going to take care not to disturb my Jupyter Notebook session here. So I'm going to press Command T, which will open a new tab. I can type in idle3 and enter if I want to launch the idle editor. Let's say that I want to open a specific script file with the idle editor. I'll have to say idle3 space the file name. For example, I'm going to type idle3 space parrot.py. Since there isn't an existing file called parrot.py in my current working directory, the idle editor is going to create a new file for me. If there is an existing file, it will open that instead. Let me press enter and we are going to go through demo for input function call. I'm going to type in input, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Then I'm going to capture the return value into a variable called words. So I've typed in words equal to input, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. As the name of the program parrot.py suggests, we are going to display to the user whatever the user inputs. So I'm going to call the print function call and pass words as an argument. Let me save the program and I'm going to run it by clicking on run module. Alternatively, you could use function F5 on your keyboard. I'm going to stick to the run menu because function F5 is causing the program to run twice on my laptop due to some reason. Let me rearrange the output window in such a way that we are able to see both the program and the output window over here. Notice that the execution of the program is waiting for user input. Let me type in hello. The program displays hello back to me. It's not very clear as to which one of these hellos is the user input and which is the output from the print function call. We can very easily add a prompt to the input function call by passing a string as an argument. So I'm going to type in double quotations and within that I'm going to say something. Let me add in additional description for the print function call as well. I'm going to say parrot says, and this time I'm going to use the plus operator to concatenate the two strings here. Let me save the program, and now when I run it, I'm going to get a prompt saying say something. Let me say Meena says hello. The print function call displays parrot says colon Meena says hello. Very simple program, but very effective for you to understand the input and print function calls. I'm going to close this program now. Let's go to file, click on new file, and I'm going to save this new file as add.py. Let's write a simple program that enables us to add two numbers. So I'm going to get user input for two numbers. Let me type in input and the prompt is going to be enter x. I'm going to capture the return value into a variable called x. Always use meaningful variable names inside your programs. I'm going to repeat the same for getting user input for variable y. The objective here is for you to compute the sum of x and y, correct? Let me type in the word sum. Notice that the color of the word changed into purple. That's because sum has a special meaning in Python. You should stay away from using sum as a variable name. If you try this inside Jupyter Notebook, sum will change into green color, and that can indicate to you that you should not use that as your variable name. Let me use total instead, which remains to be in black color. So I'm going to type in total equal to x plus y. Let me call the print function by passing total as an argument. I'm going to run the program now and provide input to x as 3 and input to y as 4. Notice that the program gave an output of 34 here. I'm sure that we expected the output to be 7. Are you able to guess why the program here is providing output as 34? Please pause the lecture video here and write a comment in the comment section stating why do you think the program is giving output as 34. One might be able to guess that the program is getting 3 as string type, and that's why when we use the x plus y, it's concatenating string 3 with string 4, thereby producing string 34. How can we confirm this theory? We can use the type function call. I'm going to recommend all of you to extensively use the print function call to debug any of your project code problems. Let me type in print open parenthesis close parenthesis, and I'm going to type in the string debug, which will help us identify the line that is getting displayed from the print function call. Then I'm going to use comma to indicate that I'm passing another argument to the print function call. This is different from using the concatenation plus operator for concatenating two strings. So I'm going to call type function to determine the type of the variable x. Let's repeat this for the variable y. And I'm going to save the program and let's try to run it with the same input. X is going to be 3, y is going to be 4. Notice that we got the output from the print function calls with say debug colon and then the output from the type function call, which does confirm that the type of the variable x and y here is of string type. So how can you fix this particular program? It's very easy for you to typecast a variable in Python. I'm going to type in the type name, which is int, then open parenthesis, variable name, which is x, close parenthesis. You need to capture the return value into the same variable x so that we update the type inside the variable x. I'm going to repeat the same for the variable y. Let me save the program and run it one more time. This time you'll notice that we are getting the type as integer and the result as 7 for our computation. What will happen if I provide as user input 3.0 and 4.0? The program is going to be unhappy. You're going to get value error which states invalid literal for int with base 10 3.0. You don't have to understand every word in this error, but all that you need to understand is that you're not able to convert 3.0 into an integer. Which particular line has this error? That is line number 4 inside add.py. In idle, you can check line numbers in the bottom right corner. So the easiest way for you to fix this problem would be to typecast x into float and do the same for y here. Let me save the program and run it one more time. This time we won't get an error for user input 3.0 and 4.0. What would happen if I were to provide user input as 3 and 4? Python would be fine with that because it is able to convert integers into floating point values. What if I try strings as input instead? I'm going to type in THREE and FOUR. Python will be unhappy if I pass string as the input. That's because it doesn't make any sense for you to convert string into floating type. You can imagine creating different versions of this program for all possible operators. Feel free to use that as practice to complete on your own time. I'm going to go through one more demo problem. So I'm going to say file, new file, and I'm going to save this file as examples.py. Let me introduce to you two parameters for print function call. We went through a couple of examples of print function call where we used multiple arguments. So I'm going to type in string hello, comma string world here. Let's save this and I'm going to run this particular version. Notice that a space automatically got added in between the arguments. What if I were to concatenate these two strings using a plus operator? Then space will not be added because your concatenation here does not provide an additional space. So if you're concatenating, you'll have to enter the space yourself as part of the string. So let me run the program one more time. This time we are getting the output with space. I'm going to go back to the previous version where we have hello and world as arguments. I'm going to introduce to you two parameters for the print function call. The first one is the SCP parameter, which stands for separate. So I'm going to pass named keyword argument here by saying parameter name SCP equal to and an argument value. Let me use the vertical line or the pipe symbol as the separator. Let's save the program and run it. I'll talk about what exactly that's doing in a minute. Notice that the output here says hello vertical line world. The SEP parameter enables you to configure the separator between the arguments that you pass to the print function call. The second parameter which I want to talk about is the end parameter, which enables you to configure the end string for the print function call. Let me type in dot 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 and I'm going to copy this print function call and change the second argument into hello Meena. Let's change the separator to a semicolon and the end to an exclamation point. Let's see what happens when we run this program. Notice that you got hello vertical line world dot 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 hello semicolon Meena exclamation point. So let me try to remove the end from the first function call here. Let me show you the output and then I'm going to ask you a question here. Notice the difference between the two outputs here. We are getting two lines when I removed the end parameter here. So what's going to be the default value for the end parameter? That's going to be new line, correct? That's what we are overriding when we are passing the value as the argument to the end parameter here. So if you want to override the default end, always please make sure to add in the new line so that you're able to get the proper display that you want. I'll wrap up this video here. In the next video, we'll go through Battleship game.